Welcome back. Time is 8:44. The heat is on with much of the country, including the Carolinas, under excessive heat warnings. You may be tempted to book a ticket to a cooler locale. If you're considering catching a flight, air travelers need to be aware of potential hazards when flying in extreme heat.
Iceland sounds pretty good right about now.
Yes.
Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot MayCay Beeler joining us this morning. MayCay, tell us more.
I know. So when is it too hot to fly? And something you probably haven't thought about, when is it, or is it ever too hot to board a plane? Have you ever been in a sweltering cabin? Well, there have been reports of passengers sitting on planes at the gate for extended periods of time when the cabin air temperature rose to dangerously uncomfortable levels. Some customers fell ill, others suffered from heat exhaustion. So if a flight is delayed, yet the airline considers it best not to deboard or deboard the customers, are there safety rules in place? Is there a federal limit for cabin temperature? Well, according to the Association of Professional Flight Attendants, currently there is no temperature standard across the aviation industry for what is considered permissible for passengers and crew to board an airliner. And some carriers set their policy to a maximum of 85 degrees to board. Others set maximum temp limits no higher than 90, which is the case for American Airlines. So it's important to note, yeah, this can be a problem because it only ensures that the cabin is no hotter than 90 degrees at the start of the boarding process. And you know, it's likely the temperature is going to rise after the first passengers have stepped onto the aircraft. And with more bodies on board the plane generating more heat, things can warm up pretty quickly.
Okay, so do we see this at Charlotte Douglas? I can only imagine we do since we're in the Carolinas,
You can
right?
today, right?
Yeah.
On hot days, typically in hotter locations like Phoenix, but in the summertime it really can happen anywhere. So yeah, extreme heat, as we said, it's known to perhaps cause medical issues before takeoff. And the Association of Professional Flight Attendants believes there should be an industry standard. This needs to be put in place. Now, did you know this? Temperatures for pets and animals no higher than 85 in the cargo hold. Oh. Or if you're going to transfer them or fly them in the cargo, it can't be hotter than 85 outside because sometimes they sit outside before they're loaded. So people should be treated at least the same as animals, don't you think? So perhaps Congress will pass a law regarding the temperature for all commercial aircraft. In the meantime, you are encouraged to close your window shades and turn on that overhead vent.
I bet if you put a congressman back in the economy seats, they'd be forced to maybe push legislation. I'm always curious that, yeah, when you roll up to the gate, they say put your shades down. Why don't they have AC once they connect to the gate?
So when the engines are running in the air, obviously you have plenty of AC, but on the ground you can't be running the engines, it's too expensive. Plus it's not safe. You have those engines running, I just suck stuff in the engines. So they have ground power units. Right. Have you ever seen that huge tube? That's to the body of the aircraft?
Is that AC?
Yeah, it's AC. It's cooler air that's being guided into the cabin. So if they don't use that, typically that works, sometimes it doesn't. You've got that auxiliary power unit in the tail. It's a small engine in the tail. You can use that for an electrical source, and you can use that to run the AC when the other two engines are not on. So you have a couple different options, but if they don't work well, then the flight attendants and the gate agents have to monitor the temperature. So for American Airlines, if it's 90 degrees or more, we're not going to board you. We're going to cool that cabin down with the ground power units or the cooling units before we can let you on.
Okay, so that's getting to board. Is it ever too hot for an aircraft to take off?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so if you go to Phoenix, once in a while, a couple years ago, they grounded all the flights because it was just too hot. 122 degrees is typically the maximum. It depends on the engine. Engines have limitations. And so for different makes and models of aircraft. So 122 degrees typically is the maximum. So if it's hotter than that, many airlines don't fly. So what does it affect? It affects lift. Airplanes don't perform as well with lift, and the engines don't perform as well. They need a whole lot more runway to take off and climb out. So when it's hot like that...
I get it. I mean, I can't lift.
When
it's hot, it's just like an airplane. I struggle with lifting when it's hot, just like the airplanes make it.
We are air-breathing engines. When the air is less dense, it's hard to perform properly.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, good to know. I'll take my little plane next time I go flying. MayCay, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.